Hey everybody, welcome once again to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, which by the way, now has over 30,000 subscribers and several days ahead of the deadline of June 1st. So I just wanted to say thank you very much to everybody out there for supporting NoDQ&A video and spreading the word. 30,000 subscribers, that goal was reached. And let's keep going. Let's go up to 40,000 subscribers, all right? I'm not going to give any deadline or anything, but just keep spreading the word and letting people know about NoDQ&A video. I'd also like to thank Jeff Meacham, Mike Nagel, Noah Donish, even though I'm sure he caused more people to unsubscribe than to actually subscribe. But I still would like to thank Noah and Webmaster Wayne Needham, the former NoDQ&AV commentator. All these guys helped out a lot over the years, and they helped build this channel in addition to myself. So I just want to say thank you to all of them. Enough of all that. Let's get right down to your questions. First one today comes from Alive705. Hey Aaron, what do you think of the 3 stages of hell match between John Cena and Ryback? I thought they should have picked a match other than the Lumberjack, maybe Falls Count Anywhere or No DQ. Your thoughts? To be honest, I'm not really crazy about them adding the extra stipulation matches, and I think it's a little bit overkill. I think the ambulance match was enough, but maybe this is WWE's way of trying to protect both guys by having somebody win a fall and then somebody else win a fall, and then the third one can be indecisive or whatever. It just feels to me like it's a way to try to not have any one guy win decisively over the other. That's really the only good reason I could see for them doing this. And the reason they would do a Lumberjack match instead of, like a no DQ match is you don't have to have a decisive finish. With a Lumberjack match, obviously there's always the interference and, it's a disputed finish most of the time in those type of matches. And, the same thing with the tables match. It's not like, somebody's being pinned or made to submit. And then the ambulance match, you can always have outside interference in that too. So, I think that's why they're doing it, but not really sure why. Although, it does seem to have worked at least in getting people a little bit more interested in Payback. I did a poll on NoDQ.com, and a lot of people gave it thumbs up to the idea of doing 3 stages of hell. So, if it gets more interest in the pay-per-view, then it's a success. Alright, next one comes from Sergio. Looks like it's going to be CM Punk versus Chris Jericho at Payback. Even though it's a great matchup and it's in front of CM Punk's hometown, don't you think it's too soon? I was thinking they would wait till SummerSlam to get the biggest buy rate possible. I think that this is a good opportunity and the right time to bring CM Punk back. If Payback was not in Chicago, I would say hold off until SummerSlam. But to have that crowd and that situation in Chicago with CM Punk as one of your top stars, you have to bring him back for that. It would be foolish not to. And as I mentioned in the previous video, if CM Punk was not there, the crowd would be chanting for him all night and it would hurt the rest of the show. So I think it's really important for CM Punk to be there. And this leads up to the next question here, which is also related to that match, from Mr. Stolly718. Hey Aaron, this is a 2-parter. Since CM Punk is scheduled to face Jericho at Payback, I'm guessing a face turn isn't in the cards for him. Also, with these 2 lame-ass wins over Triple H and Cena, is it too early to worry about the legitimacy of Curtis Axel's push? Alright, let's start off with the Jericho and Punk discussion. As far as not having a face turn, I think that there's a good possibility that it will be the beginning of a face turn. And, the fact that Paul Heyman accepted the match without CM Punk's approval, he just did it on his behalf. CM Punk could say, hey, wait a minute, I didn't say I was coming back yet. And, this could be the start of the breakup between CM Punk and Paul Heyman. And, I've seen a lot of ideas being thrown out there. One person had the idea that maybe there would be a swerve and Jericho would turn heel and join up with Paul Heyman. That would be something interesting, and that could get Jericho back in the main event scene and give him a renewed push. So that would be an interesting way to go, and to have him turn in CM Punk's hometown, he would get nuclear heat. It would be crazy. But yeah, I definitely see Payback being the start of a Jericho face turn, actually. I don't see them keeping him as a heel for the long term, and especially if you have a match with Brock Lesnar coming up at some point. I think they're going to go with CM Punk as the babyface. All right, this one comes from Tony2Fly. Hey Aaron, congrats on 30K subs. Thank you for that. Do you think Ezekiel Jackson would have been a great Paul Heyman third client? To be honest with you, not really. If Vince McMahon was a manager and was having clients, Ezekiel Jackson is a Vince McMahon guy, not really a Paul Heyman guy, if you know what I mean. Ezekiel Jackson, great look. He looks like a monster, but, he really hasn't shown all that much besides that. Maybe Paul Heyman could bring out something in him that he hasn't shown yet. But, you could say that for a lot of guys. There's a lot of people that Paul Heyman could elevate and make them bigger stars. Paul Heyman always talked about how he hid the weaknesses of guys and brought out their strengths. So Paul Heyman could perhaps do something with Ezekiel Jackson, but I think that there's a lot of other guys that are higher up on the totem pole that would be more effective having Paul Heyman as their manager or mentor, whatever. And keep in mind that Paul Heyman is just an on-screen personality too. It's not like he is actually booking WWE or anything like that, although I'm sure that he gives people like Curtis Axel advice behind the scenes, but he does it for a lot of people, I'm sure. All right, this one comes from Michael CL87531. Hey Aaron, in one of your last videos, you, rightfully so, criticized the Invasion pay-per-view. How would you have booked the main event if you had your pick from WCW, ECW, and WWE talent? NoDQ.com for life. Well, right from the get-go, I would have bought out the Time Warner contracts of the top-tier WCW stars. I would have bought out Goldberg's contract, Ric Flair's contract, and even Hulk Hogan. I would have brought in every big name possible and make it a full-fledged war between the top stars of each promotion. And I wouldn't have gotten ECW into the mix, at least not right away. I would have started off the Invasion angle with just WWE versus WCW, let that go on for about a year. You could do what I would have done at that Invasion pay-per-view is had Goldberg captain one team, have Austin captain the other team, and have WCW win. Have Goldberg beat Steve Austin in the 5-on-5 tag match, and then you can keep building things up, and then at WrestleMania the next year, do the one-on-one Steve Austin versus Goldberg match. That's what I would have done, and then maybe after WrestleMania, bring in the ECW guys and make it a three-way feud. And then that way you could drag that out for another year. So, I would have done things way differently, but, WWE did what they did, and, they're still in business. They're still making tons of money, so what do I know? All right, this one comes from BHinder1. It looks like Big E might be turning face in the near future. Do you see a babyface Big E versus a heel Mark Henry in the future when Henry returns from injury? I definitely see that as a possibility, and that's rumored to be the direction WWE wants to go in, although, the rumors, going around, apparently there's heat on Mark Henry for going home for real. I guess he's injured, and, WWE feels that he should still be on the road and he can work, continue to work past the injury and not take time off, but I guess there's some heat on him for going away for a while. But Mark Henry's been loyal to the company for over 20 years now. So, if the guy needs some time off, give him his time off. But yeah, when Mark Henry returns, and I expect him back, I definitely see them doing some kind of feud there. It's weird because it seemed like a tease that Mark Henry would be going babyface, with him doing all the feats of strength and, him saying, after the pay-per-view that he was going home. It really feels to me like they're moving in a babyface direction for him. But, they're moving in a babyface direction with Big E. So I'm not really sure how that would play out at this point. But I definitely see something happening with those two guys at some point. I think it's just a matter of time. All right, last question today comes from Chili. Well, actually, I got two more. Chili Willy 90. Hey Aaron, congrats on 30K subscribers and 308 videos. Curtis Axel is getting pushed hard in main events, but in the next several months, do you think the character will flip-flop and go back to being a mid-card tier status? Please answer in video. And actually, I forgot the second part of that other guy's question, which is basically the same question here. You know, I think it would be better if Curtis Axel got more decisive wins and shocked everybody. People would be like, oh my God, he just beat Triple H or he just beat John Cena. You know, that would get people talking. You know, having him win cheaply and, you know, he didn't even really beat Triple H. Triple H, you know, just passed out outside on the ring and then that whole thing. And, you know, everybody knows that it was Brock Lesnar that did it. You know, Brock Lesnar beat the crap out of Triple H and Curtis Axel didn't really do anything. So, you know, if it was me booking it, I would have had Curtis Axel beat Triple H, pin him. You know, Triple H could do the whole concussion thing and act like he's hurt, and Curtis Axel just beats him. But the way they did it, I thought was weak. And, you know, having John Cena getting counted out, I mean, that just made Cena look stupid that he just walked out the ring and walked down to the ambulance and just forgot about the count, like he doesn't even care about the match. So, I mean, I thought that was stupid. But, yeah, you know, they still have time to... you know, they haven't ruined Curtis Axel yet, in my opinion. I think that if they continue having him beat guys, I mean, that's what they need to do. They need to have him beat some name guys. The Shield has gone over because they've won matches against top stars. So if Curtis Axel starts getting some wins and maybe give him a few clean wins, have him beat a couple guys without cheating or outside interference, and you can establish him as somebody who's a force to be reckoned with. All right, final question from Best in the World. L. Hey Aaron, love the show. Keep up the good work. What do you think of Husky Harris coming back as Bray Wyatt? I can't wait. Your thoughts, please answer in video. I was really intrigued by that promo. I think that it's something different. It's something unique. And I like the idea of another faction coming into WWE. There hasn't been a lot of factions in WWE lately besides the Shield, and you know, there's been a couple, but it's good to have some more factions. Not like TNA where you're constantly having factions 24/7. WWE sometimes has factions, sometimes they don't. So I like the idea of bringing in 3 guys as a group, and you know, the promos were kind of creepy, and they're like these crazy rednecks, and you don't know what, you know, they seem like they're unpredictable, and you don't know what they're capable of. So, I mean, I liked the promo, and I think they have a lot of potential. You know, Husky Harris has been getting a lot of rave reviews in NXT, and, you know, I'm glad that they got rid of that Husky Harris name because he wasn't going anywhere with that. And, you know, you know, he has the wrestling in his blood and his family, so I think he has a good chance of doing well, especially with a unique gimmick like this. All right, that'll do it for NoDQ&A video today. Thanks, as always, for watching. Keep spreading the word, Facebook and Twitter. Tell a friend about NoDQ&A video, and I will see you next time for more.